Hey, welcome to Sketchbook Livestream, the December episode. Tonight we have Scott Buoncristiano and John, of course, and myself, and Eli's in the background. We're going to be drawing for a couple hours. Draw with us and definitely send us some of your art. We have a new email for people to check out to send us any sketches that you're doing. There it is right there. So welcome, Scott. How's it going?
Going great. Happy to be here.
Awesome, man.
John?
Can you tell people a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm a freelance illustrator, comic artist, live on Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Kind of do a little bit of everything, comic work, commercial illustration, band posters, tons of beer labels.
Beer label, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, like a lot. So there's this one brewery in Chicago, Revolution Brewing. And I've done something like 120 labels for them.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That's cool.
I
wish I want to do a beer label one day. You've got like 120 under your belt. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's when I first started, it was very odd to work in that, like that kind of frame because it wraps.
Right.
So you have to keep that in mind. It was fun to work with. It was like a very unique little challenge. So it was good though. That was a lot of work over the years. So for a freelance guy, it's good to have like that much kind of consistent stuff.
How did you fall into doing all the beer labels like that? Did they just find your work, or do you kind of send stuff out?
And I asked them when they first reached out to me, I was like, because it wasn't the label, it's this these design guys. So I was kind of subcontracted by them, and they work with the brewery, and they found my work on Pinterest of all places. So I was like, oh, okay. After that, I started really pushing my stuff onto Pinterest, knowing that
this is going back how far? How far is it?
Maybe 5 years ago or something like that.
Gotcha.
So yeah, they found me. I got a random email. I did like one label because the other illustrator dropped out, and then it just kept like, they were like, you want to do more? And then the brewery just started they went for like a total revamp. Yeah. They went for a total revamp of their image and stuff. And I got to do like 99% of the new labels. It was pretty awesome.
It's good. You got a great style for that, actually. It's pretty cool.
Thanks. Yeah. And it was
you got
good
some
to
really cool imagery too. You got some like devil stuff and skulls.
Yeah. Yeah,
cool.
like those cafe death stuff and Death's Tar. Like I got to create that character, which was fun. He's like this Grim Reaper type guy. And it was really good because the way they print labels, they do it like almost like a silk screen poster. Like each color is a different layer. So with my gig poster background, it was really easy to work with like a limited palette and the kind of flat type of coloring and doing the color separations and stuff. So it was kind of a natural fit.
So they send you beer, did you get any beer?
They did. They sent. I mean, I don't drink, but they sent me like a huge case of beer a while back. They were like, "Oh yeah, we've been stockpiling all the work you've done for us." So like, I got in the mail. It was just this like, there was like 2 cases and like T-shirts and knickknacks and all kinds of stuff. So I just gave them away to friends.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's awesome, man. The flat color always is hard to deal with for me because I love silk screening, but I'm horrible at it. So I respect anybody that is really exceptional at it, like you are. And I really enjoyed the Mastodon poster that you did.
Oh yeah, I did a lot of. I've done maybe 4 Mastodon posters, I think. But they're always awesome to work with. And I try to like, it's always a game with that type of stuff, with either beer labels or posters or just kind of my regular work. It's always like I play this game of how much can I do with how few colors? You know, because to keep costs, it's costs. Yeah. You know, you can, a lot of people, huge names can do like 10 colors or up to 20 colors for a poster, and bands are like, yeah, this is going to sell. But me, it's like, I'm like, I try to keep it to 4, you know, to keep their costs down and whatever.
I think it works. I actually like the limited color palette. I think it, especially with your style and your color choices, it's more effective in my opinion than an oversaturated color.
Yeah,
you know,
and
every single color you can squeeze in there.
Yeah, and it goes back to kind of my, you know, being a fan of comics and a comic reader and stuff. Like, you know, I'm like, I'll be 48 soon. So growing up in like the 80s and everything, all the comics I read was like, you know, kind of CMYK stuff. So and like kind of flat coloring before it got into the 90s and just went bonkers with like, you know, glow effects and crazy airbrushing and everything. But, you know, it was kind of that influence, just like flat coloring always just appealed to me. So that influenced my poster work and, you know.
Cool. So I always like to ask people on the show, like, what kind of imagery got them to pick up a pencil and draw. So in meantime, we can also start switching over to drawing if we want. But I'm curious, like, if there was like something you saw when you were a kid that made you want to pursue the art career.
I don't know. Well, I mean, it was comic books. When the reason why I drew when I was a kid was all because of comics, like, you know, just drawing Wolverine and Nightcrawler over and over and over, and like Ninja Turtles everywhere and stuff like that. But it's like I have a weird career. Like I took classes in high school and stuff, and I drew like up till maybe junior year in high school. Then I went into the restaurant industry basically until I was like 32 and didn't draw at all, really. And then at like 32 or something, I started, I was moved back to Cape Cod where I live now. And one of my best buddies, Dan McCarthy, is a printmaker. So I apprenticed kind of, or assisted him at his shop, helped make prints. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. You can actually make a living doing this. So I was like, and I was just like, I was over having coworkers like in restaurants and in whatever job I was doing. So I was like, I want to work alone. I was like, maybe if I just like, I have a very grindy mentality. So I was just like, if I just get home from work and then grind it out and teach myself how to draw for like, you know, hours and hours and hours for a couple of years, I might be sufficient enough and have like an okay enough skill set to get like hired somewhere. And then I got like a offer for like small jobs, and then a few more small jobs on medium sized, and then I got like a huge job at like 34 or 35, and that's when I like fully quit like the liquor retail and restaurant industry and went full time. So I basically I started this all like in my mid 30s, like started drawing for real in my mid 30s. So and by that time I was influenced by God knows what. I don't even know. It was like 30 years of just being bombarded with imagery and stuff.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. That's crazy.
It's a weird one.
Kind of an odd angle in. Were you like were you a big fan of like rock posters? Was that kind of a thing for you, or you just kind of ended up having, because you kind of have that style about your work?
Yeah, it works, I think, naturally. I was never like a huge like poster fan or anything like that. I think I have like a kind of inclination to be drawn towards aesthetics of like posters or even tattoos, things that are kind of like freestanding, not cropped forms necessarily, like an object in the middle of a thing, like a beer label, posters, stuff like that. And tattoos. It's like something, a full thing on a canvas of some sort. And that deals kind of more with design type of stuff, which I think that's what I'm kind of drawn to, is design but more the design side of illustration than the actual like rendering every little thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You have a very strong
composition
design.
And stuff like that.
So, yeah. I'm going to switch over to art and start drawing as we talk.
Yeah.
So bear with me while I got to set my new camera up here.
But yeah, your work strikes me as very designy. It seems like design is a very important part to what you do.
Uh-oh. What did I do?
That's pretty cool, John. That's what you're working on today?
Oh yeah, I usually, I don't know. I figured, what the hell, man. I was like, I'll work on this today.
Yeah.
And what are you gonna be working on, Scott? Do we lose Scott?
Look at some questions. What do we got here? Ukla likes Scott's beard. I'm assuming it's Scott's beard, not mine.
I can't grow a beard to save my life, man. It's kind of ridiculous at this age.
It's itchy. Oh, Scott left. He's coming back in. We're having a little bit of an audio issue tonight, so
yeah,
Scott might be jumping out and in. You in, Scott? You hear us?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
Sorry.
Ukla likes your beard, by the way.
Oh,
Ukla.
thanks. It's fake.
Maybe I should try a fake one for cons.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun one.
Jeff Woody's asking, will one's age affect getting work at all? I'm coming in late to the game starting. No, I don't know. I don't think so. Scott was just talking about that. He came in not super late, but you know.
I almost think we have an advantage in that, you know, maybe a little more maturity and, I don't know, experience.
Yeah, nobody generally even knows what you look like unless you like go to cons or something like that.
Yeah, honestly, most of my clients that I've been working with for like over a decade have no idea what I look like. Never seen me, never heard my voice. Lucky for them.
I know. It's like I'm never on a phone call anymore. I don't know how you guys are, but
yeah, nope. Email only.
Yeah. So I was saying before we got cut off.
What's that?
I was gonna say to Scott, I was like, I saw before we got cut off. I was saying you're very designy. Your work, at least I feel that way.
Yeah.
Are you inspired at all by like magazine design or anything like that, or is that just kind of a natural way you work?
I think it's just the natural way I work. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know why I'm kind of inspired by, but the magazine-y stuff is also kind of, you know, there's a lot of, do you mean like spot illustrations in magazines? Like
I just meant like graphic design wise, because I really enjoy graphic design. You know, nice layout and stuff like that, and especially your beer labels. I'm not sure how much of that you're designing, but it's just everything just strikes me as very designed and very well thought out.
Yeah, it is. It's a weird puzzle. Like every kind of beer label or poster or whatever. It's you know, and I follow those kind of. When I got started, because I got started late, I was just reading everything I could, like the basics and all that stuff. So I really kind of started with, you know, the rule of thirds and the golden ratio and this and that, and like, you know, aesthetic kind of, because I wanted to do a lot of commercial illustration because that's where decent money was at in illustration. So, I wanted it to be visually appealing, and there's kind of rules for that, not like that they are the only rules, but they're at least a guide to a jumping off point to make things visually appealing. So I work within those rules, stretch them where I can, and adhere to them where I should, and try to just like make for good design.
What are some of those rules? I'm trying to think of what some of those rules would be.
Just the rule of thirds one, like, for people who don't know. So like, this is my canvas here. You break it up vertically into thirds and horizontally into thirds, and the eye naturally, you want to put kind of points of interest on where they intersect. So this is like, say I had like some skull guy, I would want like, and he had one eyeball, I want like the one eyeball to land kind of on this 1/3. And it's just, there's something about like our brains that find that rule kind of appealing. I don't know what it is. But if you look at a lot, like if you go through any of my work or a lot of poster work from or covers, like comic covers and stuff, you'll find that kind of areas of interest tend to fall on these thirds. So those types of guidelines, like just the design rules.
I don't think I ever think that way. I think I approach everything without any, I just kind of attack the paper and do what feels right. I think I've always kind of done that, but.
Well, that's what I would, at this point, I'd prefer to just like go with my gut, because I'm way too analytical. So I'm like, I ain't got to do it all by the rules. But, in the past few years, I've really loosened up and just like, I'll do whatever I want,
Yeah, that's interesting. I've never thought that way about laying out a piece. It's like never even crossed my mind. Yeah. But that's interesting. That's probably why your stuff, it's like I said earlier, I was like, it seems so planned out. It seems so
designy. Yeah.
Obviously it is,
Yeah. It's a lot of it is, it's it's not, in the beginning it was very planned. Like if I was on a job and it took like, say, 3 days or something, 2.5 of those days would be me like pacing back and forth, trying to think of how I'm going to lay it out and stuff instead of actually drawing. And that's stressful, and I don't like that, and it's not as fun. So it is kind of way more fun to just go with your gut. Right.
Do you thumbnail? Do you do like a whole bunch of thumbnails to kind of narrow down what you're trying to get onto?
Kind of. Yeah. I do. Yeah. Unless it's for work, like jobs that I'm actually hired for. I'll do a lot until I get a couple of solid concepts. Like there's a lot of thumbnailing. When my personal work, like my little skulls with stuff exploding out of it, like that's just, I just go straight at that because it's just fun. For comics. I'm
enjoying watching. Lately, you've been like posting those, but you're posting video of the pre-drawings, like you're drawing like Wolverines and Doodles and stuff, and then you dial it in. It's kind of a cool way to watch the process of how you find those images.
Yeah, I try to show, because I get like, I'm sure you guys get it too, like a lot of people, like maybe, I don't know, younger people, like will message you and they're like, hey, do you have any advice, blah blah blah. And I think it's important for them to see that, like, there's a lot of screw ups, there's a lot of underdrawing, there's layers upon layers upon layers, there's a ton of erasing, there's a lot of mind wandering. Rarely, unless you're like Kim Jong-gi or that type of person, can you just like go straight at it and have a masterpiece. But it's okay to like, I just want people to see maybe that are like kind of more at the amateur level, that it's like, there's a lot of screwing up. There's a lot of screwing around. It's fun.
Art is hard. Art's not easy.
It really isn't. It is not easy. Like it can be real stressful.
One of the things I always tell people, like at shows, people will come up and ask me those kind of questions. And I might have talked about this before, but one of the pieces of advice I always give young people is to start a sketchbook.
Yes.
That is for their eyes only, and just make a whole bunch of mistakes in that sketchbook, and don't worry about it. As you're drawing, you're not drawing to post a cool piece of art. You're drawing to learn. So the best way to learn is just to make a lot of mistakes and find your path that way. But
yes,
I don't know if they pay attention to that, but that's kind of like my whole thing about, being a young artist and trying to learn. You need to make mistakes to get better. Nobody just picks up a pencil and does cool, amazing art. So
yeah. And for every one thing that an artist posts on social media or has in a gallery, there's 100 sheets of paper or digital
absolutely.
layers on the floor. You can't compare your B-roll or your stuff to like somebody's like top tier A-roll stuff,
Right.
But then, Scott, let me ask you, how do you do comics then? Because if that kind of process would make comics take a very long time, wouldn't it?
Yes. So like I'm very new at comics. Like the Dark Room, which came out in 2023, was my first sequential anything ever, maybe since like 1989 when I drew a few panels of like Batman doing something. But it was like a crash course, and I went at it knowing what I knew, doing the kind of designy stuff, and it did take forever. And I realized like you can almost see the progression through book one, because it's like 100 pages. Like it was very, I don't want to say stiff, but it was very design heavy. Like I was just overthinking everything. And then I realized slowly, I was like, no, comics should be fun and bendy, and like the comics that I like to read were just fun, like gesture trumps anatomy and stuff. So I started being way looser on the rules and just kind of doing what looked right to me as a comic fan. And because it was also taking way too long, it was a creator-owned book, and it's not like we were getting like a ton of money. It like was very dependent on sales. So I was like, all right, well, I can't really spend 3 years drawing this. And especially like I also wanted to pick up more comics work. So I was like, I know I have to get faster at this. So I really did have to. Yeah, I did have to really kind of loosen up those rules.
For a while, like if you were quick, it didn't matter how good you were. You could quick, and you could get a lot of pages in. That was kind of more important than even style. So
yeah, yep.
Yeah. Jeff Whitty is asking, is everyone working on personal pieces today, or paid work for a company? I'm just drawing in my sketchbook.
Yeah,
I'm assuming we're all doing that
just for fun today.
Yeah,
I'm just messing around. It's Saturday. It's after Christmas. I don't want to think about it too deeply.
Yeah.
And that's where the magic happens.
So Scott, I know I was going to bring up like we have hung out a little bit. And one of the things we did recently is on Halloween, we went down to the Edward Gorey house.
Yes.
And I wanted to bring up that I know you're an Edward Gorey fan, a big Edward Gorey
time.
Fan.
Yes.
How did you first find his work?
Well, he is he's been he was a local artist as long as I kind of knew.
Right.
Like
on the Cape.
Yeah, on the Cape. It's like, you know the notable local people in your area, and he was one of them. And he used to eat. He was a very eccentric man, and he used to eat at this one place right down the road from his house. It was called Jack's Out Back, and my friend was a busboy there, or a waiter or something. And we'd like go and pick him up or go and eat breakfast there or something, like in high school, and we would see Edward Gorey all the time.
Oh, no kidding.
We were just like, oh yeah, this weird eccentric guy. And he would always, and my friend would always tell us he would come in every day, and he would ask for a small fruit cup and a large bowl. And I was just like, oh, that's such a weird weird thing. And like, just eccentric dude. So I knew him just like I knew that he was an artist, and he was eccentric and kind of funny, and that was it. And but you see like his work around, because you'd go into a bookstore and it'd be like, oh, local artist, blah blah blah. And it wasn't until I moved back here that I was, and started getting into art and kind of absorbing every bit of art, that I was like, oh my God, I love this guy's, like, not so much the technical work that he did, but it's just like there is a feeling to his work, like the creepy kind of Edwardian.
The whole Victorian vibe.
Like that, those weird big like Edwardian era coats with the big fur neck thing, and like he would draw these like weird dinner parties where there were like murders, and that the Ghastly Crumb Tinies, like that's
one of the, I mean, I saw his stuff with what was it, Mystery Theater on PBS.
Yes.
I used to see the animations, but then the Ghastly Crumb Tiny book was pretty cool.
It
was such a weird, odd thing to have out there.
So bizarre. And so my wife and I are members of the Edward Gorey house. So since he passed away, they turned it into a museum, and it's awesome. And a lot of his knickknacks and stuff are still around. But do
you know his stuff, John? John, do you know who we're talking about? You must know his stuff, right?
Yeah, I know Edward Gorey. I have the exact same story you do, in that I used to see that cartoon he did on PBS on that TV show. And I hated that TV show, but I literally would watch it like every time. I'd watch the animation and then switch it off. I thought it was cool.
So it's exactly what I would do.
Yeah, they play that.
I just want to watch more of his art. I'd want to see more of his art. So.
Yeah. They have the curator of the museum, Gregory. He's a great guy. He'll like so he does these kind of tours through there, and you learn so much. Like Edward Gorey made all of his money doing the Dracula play. Like that's where he made his money. And it was the one in the 70s. He did the set design and the clothing design, and it was like Frank Langella. And then they went to London, and he got like a four-year contract at like huge money each year. And then he was like, all right, I'm going to buy a house on Cape Cod. And that was like in the 70s or whatever. And then he really started going into like doing his own books and then making money off of that in addition. But he kind of made his money and gained his popularity through Dracula first, which I thought it was
like how he kind of did his own thing. Like he he didn't wait for somebody to publish his stuff. He just kind of did his own books. He just he did a lot of stuff under pseudonyms too. So he's a very interesting dude, I would say.
Rather eccentric.
Yeah, yeah.
But I love that. Like, I love that idea of kind of like, I mean, yes, granted, he did have success, but like the kind of making your own luck thing. Like, yeah, I'm gonna write my weird stories and I'm gonna put them out. You know, I'm not gonna wait for something. He's like, he wrote weird stuff, pitched it, and had success with it.
Yeah.
Did he because I actually know nothing about him, so it's even news to me he lived in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
But was he so you said he did the Frankenstein, does that mean he got like kind of a later start in
No,
cartooning?
Dracula.
I mean Dracula, and he got a later start in cartooning, so he was kind of older when he was doing all that stuff?
He was just he did like a lot of book covers. He did like a War of the Worlds book cover, and he had a lot of those under his belt by the time he landed the Dracula gig. But you know, he was like a freelance guy, and he would just take these you know, book cover jobs, a lot of like interior book illustrations. It looked like a lot of spot illustrations. It wasn't like, you know, full page, anything like that necessarily. So yeah, he was in it. He was in the arts, and then had his big break, and then kind of just did his own stuff after that.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. I was just asking because someone was saying in the comments, I don't remember who it was. They're talking about, Scott, how you were older when you started, and they really were encouraged by that. I believe that's what the comments said.
Good.
And I always like to bring up, when people ask about that, I always like to bring up one of my favorite writers is William S. Burroughs, and I don't think he got really going until he was in his 40s, I think, and he's kind of a legendary writer, at least at this point.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. You hear actors, you know, who were just kind of grinding it out, and you know, and then they got their big break at like an older age. I love hearing those stories. Because it sucks. Nope. It's like you don't want to hear that you're like there's no hope or anything after like it's like, nope, go do some, like, you're washed up. They're only looking for like young people. Like, it's not an athletic thing. Like if this job, if like illustration relied on like my tendons being springy or something, I wouldn't have this job, you know. But it's like your creativity and skill and that stuff just keeps going and going and going if you put in the work. You know, it's kind of endless if you want to keep learning and improving.
Yeah, for sure. I think Alex Nino is actually a good example of that, because Alex is doing some of the best work, I think, of his career right now, and I think he's retired and he's just kind of just drawing around, but I love the work he's been putting out.
And talk about an artist. He did everything, man. He really.
Check this out. We have some actors who got their break late.
What is that?
Actors who got Eli just put an image up. It's like actors who got their break late.
I remember hearing Samuel L. Jackson, like he got his break pretty late.
Yeah, great. I mean, for me, my favorite is Christoph Waltz.
Yeah,
he's unbelievable, like unbelievable to me, at least. You know. And I didn't realize he didn't get things going on until he was older too.
So he wasn't acting in like another country doing acting work. He jumped in late. I didn't know that.
No, he got his break late. He was in Germany, and I guess the thing's floating around Instagram right now is he was doing some like kids show in Germany or something like that.
Right to Hans Lander. That's good.
Yeah.
So, Scott, you're doing digital. It's our first digital artist on the show.
Oh, how about that? Yeah, I was debating. I was like, damn, am I going to like kill the whole idea of this and not doing it in a sketchbook? But I mean, this is kind of, I do have physical sketchbooks. I do there's still it is important to me to draw in a physical sketchbook, but I don't know. I just figured this is a digital sketchbook anyway.
I think it is, as much as like us curmudgeon old artists want to whine about it. It is kind of the future of a lot of the stuff, a lot of this kind of art. People are going to use that medium, but not AI. No AI. You're not using.
No,
AI.
that stuff sucks. Nobody should use that.
Right.
AI sucks, but people are going to use it. There's no fight in that one.
Yeah, I'm realizing that. I'm still going to be curmudgeonly on that one, though. I'm holding on to that one to my deathbed.
Yeah, see, when I started illustration, again in my mid 30s or something, I was basically just pen and ink. Like I did a lot of very almost lithograph style, a lot of lines, like hatching stuff, but like the straight ones with whatever.
Were you using nibs, or were you using like photographs?
Microns and some nibs. So when I switched over to digital just like because of speed. Like a lot of these like publishers I was working with, it was like I did a lot of work on Harry Potter books when in my early days of illustration, and there was a lot of actor likeness. And they're kids, and kids are hard to draw, so I would screw up left and right, and they'd be like, all right, can you tweak this doesn't really look like this actor, can you they're not going to sign off on it, and blah blah blah. So I would have to do these quick revisions, and instead of like scanning it and drawing and pasting the paper over, like a cutout piece of paper over the face and redrawing it that way, I was just like, this is crazy. Like I got to learn digital, because I can just do a correction on the fly, save it as a JPEG, email it to them, and it's done immediately. So it was almost a necessity that I did the digital stuff for. And then getting jobs where I had to color my own work, working digitally was, very kind of important.
And I'm not against digital work, just so you know. I just want to say that I'm not really against it. I think that it's I think it has its place, and a lot of times, even though it's got a place as far as like speed and getting, delivering work and ease of delivering work, when you use it enough, you find a rhythm to it. It does kind of mimic what we do on paper, at least what I do on paper.
Yeah, well, especially coming from like if your foundation is in kind of more analog stuff, whether it's painting or pencil, like graphite pencil stuff, or pen and ink. Like I don't know a ton of fancy stuff with digital stuff. Like I use it like it's pen and paper, just with kind of limitless erasing and less messy erasing and stuff. I don't use really a ton of layers. I don't use crazy lighting effects at all, or any lighting effects at all. Like we touched on earlier, like my coloring is very flat. It's just, for me, it really is the speed, and I'm used to it now.
Yep, I agree.
But the one thing I will say with why I think it's still important to draw, with pen and paper or pencil and paper, is with digital, you lose a lot of deliberate stuff. You are a lot less deliberate because you have endless revisions, because there's not like a lot of permanence to it. You can control
the safety net. Are you talking like the safety net of the unlimited undos?
It's a safety net, and you don't have to just like, you really like, when you're drawing with pen and ink, you have to really think before you put down a line, because it's like, this is ink, this is not coming up. Whereas for example, what I'm drawing now, if I don't like this line here, I get rid of it and draw a new one. But I don't know. It's important to, I think being deliberate is important. And yeah.
One of the things that I immediately, when I first picked up an iPad and started messing around with it, because I had used a Cintiq and I'd used like Photoshop and just random Photoshop brushes. But the iPad, when I first used it and realized that it had stabilization, it kind of messed me up. I was like, wow. I was like, this whole stabilization thing is like, at first I couldn't get the kind of line work that I wanted because the stabilization was taking it away. So I was able to work around that by taking it off. But I'm thinking about all the younger people who they're not training their hand. They're just relying on all that stabilization that things like Procreate have. So I think on that level, I don't think it's a good thing. I think people should work with brushes and pen nibs and pencils and, build their foundation and then kind of mess around with
yeah. I agree.
I just think it will make them a stronger artist,
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I think it's great that you noticed that. You know how many artists I talk to that don't know what I'm talking about when I bring that up about the iPad?
Stabilization stuff or what?
Yeah, they don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, yeah, that thing, it has a lot of like line smoothing and stuff like that. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
And you want, I mean, you want a little wiggliness. That's what gives it life. And you see that a human did it.
Yep. I agree. I got on a little kick for a little while. I wanted to I did like a drawing at one point of this weird guy and I inked it and painted it. And then I did one right next to it with digital. And it was like, I did many different tries to try to get it to look like I did it non-digital. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like approaching it to see if I could make digital look like my, because I kind of have a messy style in a lot of ways. Like in the digital, like you're saying, the digital aspect of, digital work just, it took all the character out of my art, in my opinion. So,
yeah. And there's when working digitally, there is a real pull to want to correct everything, and you have to almost be, for me anyway, I'm very aware of, like, if there's a little screw up, I'm like, just leave it there. It's okay. Lines can overlap. You don't want it too perfect. I think that's the problem with, and not to get super into it, but like AI stuff, like when people are like, yeah, I made this art, and it's like, yeah, it's not about making perfect lines and stuff. It's about an idea behind it and your personal execution of it and how that's different from and unique from other people. It's never about the perfect lines. It's about
some of my favorite stuff that like I'm working on, probably one of the reasons I like sketchbooks so much is the accident, the unintentional accident that you're working on something like this thing I'm working on now. And I darkened this little arm and then I've got this overlapping of the ink wash. It's like, I like the look of all this stuff. And that's not something I'm going to get from digital. I'm sure I could get it from digital if there's brushes out there that will do that. But I guess what I'm getting at is the mistakes. I mean, look at John's work. John's work is so kinetic and energetic and, that you're not going to ever get that digitally. So,
yeah.
It's kind of funny you mentioned though. You're like, some of the lines need like like the lines wiggle and stuff like that. You were talking about how that's kind of the beauty. And funny enough, that's what's driving me crazy right now. Because I have like when I have to prep my scans, like I have like a nice monitor, like color corrected. I have like all this stuff. And I actually stopped using all that stuff because like it's getting too close to the art. So then you're like really zoomed in at 100%. You're color correcting. You see like every like nonsense like little line. So I started like color correcting everything on a laptop just so it's smaller and I could deal with it better.
I will say with digital, the biggest trap that I think people can fall into. I don't know if you can see my screen, but this. zooming endlessly.
Oh yeah.
It is
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah.
So I actually locked my zoom so it only goes two things. So I can't overwork it. This is like a manual thing, but on some drawings years ago, I used to zoom in this much and do like these weird little details, and all it would do is eat up my time, and it wouldn't add anything to the piece. It was just a time sink.
What application are you using there? What are you using?
I use Clip Studio Paint, which is it's pretty much made for comics and manga. But I love it. It was very intuitive going from pen and ink to this. Like their brush engine's really good. Photoshop does coloring better, but I still color all my professional work and personal work in Clip Studio.
I used to hear stuff about Clip Studio being so amazing, but I didn't really have the energy to learn. I was so used to Photoshop. I didn't have the energy to go down that road again. So I just stuck with Photoshop. And now
a lot of people say it's intuitive going from Photoshop.
Yeah, not for me, man. Maybe I was afraid of it. I don't know. But now I use Procreate, and it's I think the thing I like about Procreate is it's so simplistic. Like Photoshop went way beyond me at one point. At some update, I was like, "What did you do? Why did you do this to Photoshop?" For what I'm sure it's great for, the purposes people are using it for, but it wasn't for me. So when I found Procreate, which I actually found because I was prepping tattoo stencils, and I realized I could make tattoo stencils way easier. Oh, Scott, your brother is here. He says hi. Oh, Steve.
Steve. Oh, hi, Steve.
I guess so Procreate was so basic. It was like the old Photoshop. So I enjoyed it, and I was able to really have fun with it. And that's kind of what I do now.
I heard they might be doing a desktop version, which I think that would be the Photoshop killer, honestly.
Oh, for Procreate?
Yeah, for Procreate.
Yeah. My biggest beef with it is I'm a layer. I don't know what I call myself. I love lots of layers. I love just stacking layers, and Procreate's limited. So it's probably doing me a favor to make me mellow out and stuff with all those layers. So
yeah.
But
yeah, I think Clip Studio, I think by far has the best brush engine, way better than Photoshop or for like drawing tools. So I like it. The iPad version sucks, but Procreate's great too. Photoshop I don't know. I just don't think it's good for drawing anymore. At least for me.
It was the only thing for the longest time. That's why I use Photoshop so much, because I'm old and that was all that was there.
Yeah, but I think Scott's right though. It is better for like painting and color though.
Yeah,
honestly. Yeah.
Well, Clip Studio doesn't have CMYK either.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I just wing it. I do RGB, and I'm like, well, for posters, I actually look up the Pantone colors and type in the hex code and color it with that, just so it's close enough.
Photoshop, Photoshop is licensing. You have to pay a special fee for Pantone. Well, the last time I looked, you can't use the Pantone.
Wow.
Picker. Yeah, kind of not a good thing.
Yeah, they're money gouging.
That's what
Yeah, believe me, I've been trying to replace Photoshop for years, and you just can't do it. There's like basic tools you need for print that only Photoshop does, and nobody cares about CMYK. That's the thing, though. You know what I mean? So
I noticed that. Yeah,
but CMYK actually isn't a problem for me unless I'm using comic or that comic profile, that comic CMYK profile, because it shifts the colors like crazy. But everything else, I don't really have a problem with it.
I used to have a nightmare time with CMYK because when I was doing all the production for the Turtle books, people would turn out a lot of the covers in RGB, and they look great. And when you switch them over to CMYK,
especially browns and greens.
Yeah.
Like shit. It was terrible. It was
they lose a lot of oomph.
I got to the point where I used it so much and I had certain colors in my palette that I just like, I had a red, a yellow, green, all these colors I liked and I knew how they would print. And I just had a special palette that I would just automatically grab those colors, but it kind of makes your stuff all look the same after a while too. So it wasn't the best thing, but
yeah, my biggest nightmare is red and CMYK, and then with the but it's not horrible. And then the for like the comic palette, the comic profile, it's like blues and purples shift like crazy in that.
All right. I wonder if I should ink this up or if I should color it.
I think it looks good now.
Yeah, I kind of like it too. I think you should do however you do so people can see your process, however you normally do this.
Well, lately I've been really into mid-century type of art. So I've been kind of dropping outlines and like the hard, like black line work and just going straight to color. So I might do that with this.
Cool.
So in which case, I'm going to... Actually, no. I'm going to ink this up real quick, and then I'll color it real quick. See how fast see if I can do this in an hour. Fully colored, rendered piece.
There you go. It'll be like drawing comics, man.
Yeah. All right. Everybody gets to see my herky-jerky style.
Are you always on a Cintiq, or do you like? I mean, for like, yeah. Well, actually, you're sketching right now. Are you always on a Cintiq, or do you use the iPad for like messing around?
I use the iPad for just messing around, sketching. Like if I'm up on the couch, we're watching TV or whatever. I'll do the iPad. For some reason, I just can't get comfortable enough with it to do like finished kind of professional work. I don't know if I'm just so used to the my Cintiq and all my little shortcuts that I have. I don't know. Mostly the Cintiq.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, dude, I even know professionals that don't even use a Cintiq. They like hate the Cintiq and they just use the old like tabletop Wacom.
Really?
So, yeah. So it's probably whatever
Mitch
you're
was
used
like
to.
That,
Yeah.
That seems crazy to me, but yeah, Mitch was doing that. One of our guests was talking about it, and it turned out he uses one of those too.
Scott, I think you're getting some heckles from the audience here about how long it took you to draw hands and lost your friend Justin. And
I avoided hands as long as I could. It was like people do with, people get ridiculed for hiding feet. I would just hide hands but they're so important. Like at one point it was just like, all right, well, there's no hiding these guys anymore. Especially in comics, because they're so gestural and you can emote so much with hands.
Yeah, how on earth did you hide hands?
Yeah, really.
But I would just draw busts or heads or whatever.
Everybody's wearing a really long sweater.
Yeah. Mittens everywhere.
Yeah. Every character has mittens. I used to draw when I used to draw the turtle so much, I would do the 3 fingers and the big meaty fingers, and then I would try to, after doing it so much, you try to draw a regular hand and you don't want to squeeze 4 fingers into the hand. It was kind of weird. It was like a weird thing for me,
Yeah, but you worked at Mirage where everything was up to interpretation, though, right?
Oh yeah, we definitely had a Mirage thing.
you
Yeah. So you guys weren't really like following like the cartoon or anything.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Yeah, there was no kind of what is it, style guide or something?
I mean, there was eventually, but not for us. It was like, for licensing art. But even that was done internally. So Steve
Interesting.
Levine and Ryan Brown did all that stuff. But it was based on the Murakami stuff that was animated. But, when I started working there was no cartoon. None of that existed. So we just kind of did our own thing.
Yeah, I'll never get over that. The Mirage Studios turtle stuff was so weird at the time because I was a kid and I was watching the cartoon, and then you go to like get the Mirage stuff, and the Mirage stuff was just kind of crazy.
You found the cartoon first.
Yeah, that's all I knew it from because I was a late
Right.
comic reader. So then, like, you go to the store, and then first, actually, what was shocking was the first issues, because that comic was actually super rough, which the cartoon was not.
It's kind of like an underground comic in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it really was. And then you'd go like, oh, the Mirage Studios, the official stuff, and you go check out Mirage, and it was strange. That's at least the era I was looking at. Maybe it was different later on, but
there was a uniform. It was a bunch of us that worked on it for a while, and then after the cartoon hit, Eli would probably know this stuff more than me, but there was a point where guest artists just filled in, and the guest artist was so varied in style that it definitely took on kind of a bizarre, for a monthly or however it came out, probably bi-monthly published comic. It was very weird to see, I remember there was like the Tom McQueenie and Rich Hedding issues. I went to school with those guys, and they got a couple issues, and it was really, really bizarre. It was just like left field, so
yeah.
But it was kind of cool that way too. I thought it was cool.
I thought it was great. I still, for me, it's the Zuli issues. The Zuli issues to me are just, even today, I consider those issues kind of berserk.
Yeah, he was pretty amazing artist, man. He was pretty incredible because he was around. He lived in Springfield, so he would visit the studio.
But no, I thought it was super cool.
Yeah,
I don't think you could do that today.
Yeah, it's kind of an odd progression, Mirage and the Turtles. I think it's become another thing entirely than the way it started.
So Scott, what kind of?
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, you go. I was gonna wing it. What do you got?
You
What do
broke
you
my
got?
train of thought. You broke my train of thought. I can't remember right now. So go ahead.
All right, I know what we can talk. We can talk about Scott's end of the year playlist point that I think he's very proud of.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell everybody?
Somehow I was Cannibal Corpse's top listener in the world. I was like in the top
I love this.
2,000 listeners or something, which is insane to me.
Do you wear headphones a lot, or does your wife hate you?
Yeah, no, I'm in the office with headphones, and she's gone most of the day, so
I love that.
Yeah, it's I don't know what my deal is. And then I guess I'm just a very obsessive guy, because I was also, I think it was 4 years ago, I was Thin Lizzy's number one listener in the world. I was it was before they gave you the exact ranking, but they were like, wow, congratulations, you are the 0.0000001 listener in the world of Thin Lizzy. I was like, all right,
wow,
yeah,
it's a badge of honor.
Yeah,
well done.
I'm very proud.
Okay, John, what were you going to ask?
How do you even know that?
They give you like a recap on Spotify at the end of the year, on your your minutes listened and your top band and all that stuff, which is kind of creepy that they know all this stuff.
Yeah.
So
Are you able to work to Cannibal Corpse? I mean, I love this. I
Yes.
love this music, but like, there's days where you just I can't.
Yeah.
too much.
Well, it's a little, so I like working out a lot too, so it's on like my playlist for lifting, and then I listen to it when I'm driving, and then I listen to it when I'm working. That's how I rack up all those hours.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
dude, are you like me? Do you find a record and you just keep listening to it over and over again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Takes like a couple months and then you'll find another record.
Yeah.
To add to the
Another
list,
record
basically.
of theirs.
I just love that. Is it George Corpse Grinder? Is
Yes.
that dude?
Yeah.
I just love
Corpse.
that he's just like tearing up those stuffed animal machines and giving them to charity, and then he goes and sings Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah. Like about sawing people's heads off with chainsaws, and he's like a super loving family man. Like he's always like his social media, he's like, I'm so proud of my daughter, she just did this today, and I'm just like, man, this is the best wholesome content.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't match at all.
Yeah.
Ask Scott about his Stan Bush playlist.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Heckled hard, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, that's digging deep, man. Stan Bush.
Oh man, my brother and I were so into Stan Bush for a while. Actually, I remember it was, what was this, when I lived in Watertown many years ago. So this was like whatever, 2000, early 2000s, and I remember I bought a Stan Bush CD online, and like, it's not like Stan Bush was super famous or well known, but it was like sent to me from him, like from his house, because he probably just had a ton of them in his garage, and he's like, okay. Yeah. So, and I was like, oh my God. And he was like, yeah, here, I just emailed it out or mailed it out to you. And I was like, oh my God, is this Stan Bush? And I was like gushing, talking to him. And he probably thought I was like just lying and being a jerk or something. But I was like very sincere. I was like, I really love your music and stuff.
Oh, man.
That was my brush with fame.
I only know one Stan Bush song. It's the song he did for Transformers the movie. Outside
The
of that, I
Touch.
can't even tell you one. Yeah. Is that for Transformers the movie, or is that actually just one of his songs?
I think he did it for Transformers the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remind people, if you're sketching, to send us your sketches. Eli will put them up.
Yeah.
You got the sketch.
What was that?
You got the power. Such a good song.
Yeah.
He was
Gets
a
me
real
hyped.
It's just forever. For me, it's just Transformers the movie, that song. I can't disassociate that one. But I think he did a song recently for like another action movie too. It was like one of those nostalgia action movies, and who did it have in it? Had like Matthias Hughes in it, and I think Billy Blanks, a bunch of I think maybe Cynthia Rothrock was in it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds like something I would enjoy greatly. Like just nostalgia karate movie.
Dude, I saw Cynthia Rothrock at a party once, and then I was all like, I was already wrong. Like there was somebody, like another celebrity there where I thought was there, and I was like, tell my friend, I'm like, hey, that's that guy. He goes, no, it's not. I'm like, yes, it is. He's like, no, it's not. And I was totally wrong. So after that, I saw this chick, and I was like, man, that looks like Cynthia Rothrock, but I already kind of embarrassed myself, so I just let it slide. And then I found out later it was her. I was like, God damn it.
I actually watched The Perfect Weapon recently. Do you guys remember that one?
Is that the one with
Jeff Speakman? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually wicked good. It's like just a wicked good like karate movie.
Yeah.
There's this scene, I don't know. It's fun.
I'm trying to remember The Perfect Weapon. Is that the one that was like he's like flexing in the beginning to like that R&B, that rap song from the 90s. What was it called? I Got the Power or something like that. Is that the one?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't remember that part. Could very well be. There's a scene where he's fighting like the big bad guy, and this guy was like, it was this actor who always played like a bad guy in 80s movies and stuff, and like martial arts movies, and he's like this big just tank of a dude. Anyway, Jeff Speakman's doing all these spin kicks and spin punches and everything, and this guy's just tanking all these hits, and he's just like, and he keeps coming at him. And so and this guy like walks up next to this giant like propane canister, and Jeff Speakman is just like getting beat up and cannot do any damage on this guy. So he takes off his belt, which had a metal belt buckle, and he just starts swinging it around his head and whips it into the propane thing. And so this guy is so tough, he had to explode him to win. Like, so he throws his metal belt buckle into the propane thing. There's this massive explosion, and that's what finally took the bad guy down. Like, it was so over the top. It went from like a street fight to like street murder with like, you know, a giant explosion and stuff. It was so over the top.
I remember that part. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So you watch a lot of action movies?
Yeah. Oh yeah, tons.
Do you watch them when you work, or? I
throw on Bloodsport at least once a month. That's I've seen that movie. I don't like it's like relaxing to me. I love it so much. And but whenever my wife would go away like out of town, I would be like, okay, it's
binge
Bloodsport,
all the movies.
Bloodsport, both Lethal Weapons, RoboCop. You know, I would just go through all that stuff. Maybe I'd throw in a Steven Seagal if there was time, and then Kickboxer, Predator.
Yeah,
like I would, and Cobra and Master and Commander, of course. But Cobra's really good too. That one's nuts.
Cobra is insane.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
You know, anytime I talk about Cobra, that's the only thing I can say about it. There's actually nothing more I can say about that movie. It's insane.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Like the when he cuts the pizza with the scissors. Do you remember that part? It was so weird. Like he pulls all his gun cleaning equipment out of the freezer and takes a frozen pizza out of there, takes a slice, cuts the tip off with a scissors, and eats just the tip while he's cleaning his gun. It was just such a weirdly written scene.
Yeah, everything's weird about that. You know what's really weird is Over the Top is weird too.
Yes.
I
remember it. Yeah, Sammy Hagar did the song for that.
Well, in the chat, Jeff Whitty said that You've Got the Touch was originally pitched for Over the Top, but then they went with another song.
Oh, really?
Really?
It's all coming around.
Yeah, I know.
And Cannibal Corpse had an amazing starring role in one of my favorite films, Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura, yeah.
Band at the time said. We've got our first two submissions. If you guys want to take a look,
let's check it out.
Yep.
All righty. I believe these are from the same Jeff Whitty, and I think he said he does spot illustrations. So these are them.
Oh, awesome!
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
And then here's another. Oh, I was clicking in there. All right, there we go.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome. Yeah. Nice work.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hit us in the chat there. Is this for like a newspaper, a newsletter, a magazine? What do you do these for?
Yeah, I've done a few spot illustrations. I'm terrible at it. I did a few for like a newspaper, and that was the end of that.
Talking of movies, guys, I've recently been hip to a film that I haven't seen yet. but it's from the 70s. It's called just SSSSS, and it's about it's kind of like, well, it's about a guy who turns another guy into a snake.
Ooh.
It looks
I feel like I remember that. I don't know if I'm going to remember anything from it, but I feel like I remember that.
Yeah,
probably just because of the title.
Telling us about it. It's kind of like Tusk by Kevin Smith, but like,
oh man, don't bring up that movie.
Oof.
That movie's rough, man.
Yeah, absolutely rough. But yeah, I'm
We
interested to see more about.
We got a blood sport question. Where did it go?
Yes.
If Scott was in Bloodsport, what is he dipping his hands in?
Oh, that was kickboxer.
Yeah.
But if Bloodsport, I would be dipping my wait. What was it in Hot Shots?
Hot Shots.
When
he had like M&Ms, right? It was
I
like
would
M&Ms
dip them
and
in caramel and Oreo crumbles and gummy bears.
Nice.
Yeah. Speaking of
That's my-
kickboxer, that's one of the best intros of a bad guy in the beginning of that movie to me.
Yeah.
He's just like kicking the pillar and then the ceiling's coming down a little bit. It's just like shaking. I love that.
So good.
Yeah, there's have you seen Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth?
Yes, I remember that one.
You should watch that again, man. Stone Cold's great.
I remember his haircut in that was something
Oh,
else.
yeah. Oh, everything about it's something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I like really terrible 80s action movies. There's nothing like it, man.
Yeah. Well, it's also nostalgic for me. Yeah. Oh, oops.
But I also feel like it's a genre that's disappeared.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do anymore.
Who would take a risk on that? What studio would be like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's throw some money at it. We'll definitely make that money back.
No. You might as well set that money on fire, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, what are your favorite movies in general? Like what kind of do movies inspire you at all to like work, or is it just you enjoy movies and that's it? Like, I guess what inspires you, I guess, if it's not movies. Yeah.
I don't know really. I try to I really don't know. I don't know what I'm inspired by. I don't watch a ton of movies. I don't watch a lot of TV shows. I don't really play a lot of games. Like the movies I watch are just ones I've seen 1,000 times, like Bloodsport and all those. I don't know. I think it goes back to the design thing. Like it kind of shapes inspire me, like really abstract stuff. Like I'll see, I could see a wine bottle illustration and be like, oh, that's cool. Or I could see, I've gotten compositions from just like leaves or debris in a shape that fell on the ground. I don't know. I'm kind of a weird dude.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess is it wrong to say you're taking things from life? Is that kind of pushing it too far?
No, I think that's accurate. I think a lot of what it is I don't want to be too not inspired. That wouldn't be the word. Too influenced, I think, by kind of art that, or stuff that exists already. I want stuff to just come from my head mostly. I don't know but that sounds kind of snotty and weird.
I find if you do a lot of work, you don't have time to watch a lot of movies.
Yeah, that too. And I have twins on the way in
Oh wow.
yeah,
Congratulations.
so thank you. So I am going to be watching a lot of stuff, and
You'll be
it's gonna
watching a lot of
be
kids'
like
movies.
Paw Patrol and
Yeah.
whatever. So it will be funny because I don't want to say subjected to, but I will be watching this stuff with my kids, and it's going to be funny to see if I really am influenced and if my work takes a softer tone and I get more kid friendly. But it was interesting. I was talking to my friend, Bridget Connell, she's a comic book artist, does a lot of work for Dark Horse on like Lady Baltimore and stuff, works with Mike Mignola. And she has a kid, and I was talking to her about like, being an artist and having young kids and everything. And I was saying that I wonder if my work is going to soften up and be more kid friendly. And she was like, mine went in the total opposite direction, because I was trying to,
Venting.
almost like have my own identity outside of being a mom, so she was like, I went kind of gnarlier and leaned way more into the horror. So that's a possibility too. That would be interesting. Like, I watch so much Paw Patrol that I can't stand it, and I just go real dark, like Cannibal Corpse style lyrics, but in art form.
Yeah, Cannibal Corpse, Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
I don't know. You could end up like George Corpse Grinder, man.
Yeah. Just like evil stuff, but drawing evil stuff and just
being a really sweet dude.
The sweetest guy ever.
You just make stuff that's so evil that you start walking around with stuffed animals and people are just like, nah, man, don't buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's put a darker.
Dude, you're putting that together quick, man.
Yeah. This is that's also the magic of digital and working with super limited color palettes. It's like I have these pre-built palettes that I like, so I don't really have to guess about what colors I want to use.
Dude, you're so thought out, man. It's so foreign to me, man. A lot of my stress comes from like when I'm on a rush for a gig, and because I plan nothing, which I always have to make this disclaimer: don't ever do that. I always have to tell kids that. I'm like, don't do as I do, But it makes my life hell. It really does. But it's the only way I know how to work.
Yeah, it's kind of whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you feel like gets the best stuff out of you. And I'm just still trying to figure out how to get the best stuff out of myself.
Do you spend a lot of time working? Like, are you working overtime, or are you like kind of 9 to 5?
Yeah, I'm a pretty set schedule guy. I kind of need some sort of structure in this thing. I mean, I will do my work. It's like 9 to 5-ish, I would say. And then I go upstairs, do dinner, hang out with my wife, and we'll watch something, and I'll be sketching like on the couch. So the work is structured, but I still draw for fun, and that's less structured.
Okay.
So it is a lot of hours a week. I mean, I'm still putting in those hours.
Yeah. There's one comic artist I know. He says he works 5 hours now. He's able to do a page in 5 hours, and that's it. End of the day. And I was like,
wow.
I'm so jealous of you.
Yeah. I also have there is a weird thing, because I got such a late start that I have this weird thing in my head that I feel like I wasted so much time that I have to make up for it somehow. Like, I still have this like grinded out mentality, which is kind of crazy, and I shouldn't, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
I'm
having
like,
a kid might change that a little bit. So
yeah.
you'll have
just
other
won't
stuff to focus on.
Yeah, I won't have time.
I worked a lot at night when I had kids, when the kids came along.
Yeah.
It ended up being I'd work like overnight a lot, especially when deadlines were due.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, how do I split it up? Work, a few hours in the morning and then a few hours at night.
Right. What's your productive time? Is you a productive morning person, or you're productive? I mean, what's your productive time for doing art?
I think I really get going around, I would say like 11 to 4, like midday,
Right.
mid shift is when I really start cranking.
How about you, John? You like just go all day till the project's done, or you have like a set schedule?
Well, what I try to have a set schedule. I would like to do that thing that influencers do where they wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning and they're done by 2, and I've tried it and I've failed every time. But
Wow.
I generally work. I work from 9 to like about 5 or 6, or sometimes I'll start at 8, and then I take a dinner break for a couple hours, and this is when I'm working overtime, and then I'll work for like another 2 or 3 hours at night. I feel like I need the break, but at the same time, when you do that, it makes your entire life as work for a long time. So
Right.
it's not the greatest, but right now I should be on a normal schedule, so that'll be nice. Like, Eric, you're a morning guy, right?
I am. I wasn't, but I am now. It's like I get my best stuff done in the morning.
Yeah.
Early morning?
Yeah, usually, because I have a system where I, like, when I'm tattooing, I draw the tattoo the morning of the tattoo. I don't like work on it ahead of time because I like the flow of it. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I enjoy the peaceful morning drawing sessions now.
Interesting.
I just put Cannibal Corpse on and
just
grind
out.
No.
Oh, I would love to do some work for them. I'm gonna find out who their merch manager is.
Yeah, you got to, man. After this, you got to.
I know.
Yeah, you earned it.
I wonder how crazy they would let you go on their posters. Because it
They're-
still is like
they're-
a public venue and everything.
Yeah, I think they would just be like, yeah, just make it. If anything, they'd be like, oh, can you make it like bloodier or more gory? Like, just make me go totally over the top.
Like, more blood.
Yeah, more blood, more gore.
How did the Mastodon gig come together? It seems like Mastodon reached out to a lot of, like, I don't know what to call it, a lot of this style artists to get rock posters. Were they fans of, like, comic art?
No, they're
do you know?
they're really funny. Those guys are so DIY and hands-on. It's awesome. Like, they still have this, like, I mean, they're a huge band. They won a Grammy and everything. Like,
they did? I didn't know that.
Yeah, years ago. It was like for best, like, whatever, heavy metal song or something. And they still kind of act like they're like this like punk rock garage band who has to, like, personally reach out to people. Like, it was someday like maybe 4 or 5 years ago on Facebook, and they were like, hey, we're looking for people to do posters, because most bands go through like a liaison company or a merch management company to deal with, like, contacting the artists and looking at the concepts for a poster and okaying it and talking to the print company and everything. But Mastodon, back then anyway, it was like the guitarist Bill was like, hey, we're looking to for poster artists for this tour. Email it, if you're an artist, email me here. And they were dealing with all that, like talking to the printers and reaching out to artists. And I was just like, all right. So I emailed them and I was like, hey, I've done tons of posters and, you know, I think my style would work. And he was like, yeah, looks cool. Yeah. All right. Here's some dates. And I was like, okay. And then I just, you know, ended up doing like 5-6 more for them or something. And I did a Halloween shirt. And the drummer, Braun, is on Instagram. And he follows me, and they were like, he posted like a Halloween shirt from a few years ago. And I messaged him and I was like, hey, if you need somebody to do one for this year, let me know. And he was like, do you want to do it? And I was like, yes, I do. And he's like, okay. So it's just really cool. Like I just have a lot of respect for those dudes because they're just like, they're in there. Like they don't have to be, but they are just, I don't know, really cool.
That's pretty cool. That's really kind of like inspiring to show that people can just kind of make stuff happen. You don't have to sit around and wait for it. Get out there and do it.
Yeah, make your own luck.
Yeah.
And that was another thing with illustration work. You know, I always tell people like be proactive. Like if there is a company or a band you want to work for, do 2 seconds or do like 20 minutes of Googling, find, you know, if it's a publishing company, find the art director's names, find their email. They're all usually on their website. Right. And, you know, find editors you want to work with, like comic editors are on, I mean, they hate probably being like cold email, but it's, you know, it is what it is. Like if I'm a hungry dude and I want to work, you know, I'm gonna, and if they hate that, then whatever, they can ignore me or never hire me. But I like to, again, make my own luck, and be proactive about stuff.
Yeah. You have to put yourself out there. No matter how good you are, you can't just sit around and wait for people to come to you. That goes through a lot of different art fields.
Yeah.
You know, make your own luck. I like that.
Yeah.
John, you've done rock posters, right?
Yeah, I've done a few, not a whole lot, but I've done a few, and they've been pretty enjoyable for the most part. So, somehow they kind of let me. It's nice for me because earlier when I was younger, that was a big deal for me, and I actually got fired from record labels. Like they would hire me to do something, I'd turn stuff in, they're like, get out of here. So it's nice that I finally get to do it now. You know, so. It's been.
Why were they? You were turning in really bizarre shit, and they were like, "What are you doing?"
I didn't think so, but I did like one punk rock record. I forget which record label it was, and then the art director turned my stuff in, and then he told me everybody else at the studio was just like no, and then he was like trying to get me to do it, and then they just kind of kicked me off of it, and I was like, all right.
Wow.
But you definitely have to make your luck, and it doesn't matter who you are, because I'm just gonna put it out there. I still message whoever's handling the Melvins posters every once in a while, and I still haven't gotten a bite yet, but I'm working on that.
So you want a Melvins poster?
The Melvins is one of my favorite bands ever. So
that was the first gig poster I ever did, was a Melvins show.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah. I've done a couple of them. I'll send it to you if you want. I got a bunch of them if you want a Melvins poster.
Well, that was Secret Serpent, right? Or was it somebody else? Yeah.
Is that who you were messing? I'll talk to you off the. I can see if I can help you out.
But yeah, I really want to do concert posters. But
I think your work would be killer.
The big hurdle for me is the silk screening. I'm so terrible at flat color. I just don't have the eye for it.
I'll help you with separations.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be happy to help you with separations on that. It's
can they silk screen like all that line work that you do? Is that?
Yep.
I don't know a heck of a lot about silk screening.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's actually, silk screening is amazing. If you could do enough colors, like Mondo does this, they could silk screen paintings.
Yep.
But you have to have enough colors to work with to be able to do that. Right. And I have no idea how to do those separations either.
You guys know Daniel Danger's work? You know that kind of stuff?
Yep.
Yeah, he's in my hometown here. So Now that you say that, I'm like, oh yeah, if he can do that, yeah, they can definitely pull off a Wayshack poster.
For sure.
Yeah, actually, Scott, you do your own silk screening, or you have access to or you're able to do your own silk screening, right?
Correct. Yeah, that was my big push the past year. I've put like a bunch of money into like doing up a silk screen stuff, not for band posters, but for my own artwork, and just kind of cutting out the middleman. And I think my whole big theory is that with AI and stuff like that I think there's going to be kind of a
pushback,
a big, kind of a bigger market for kind of handmade stuff, hand drawn, human, especially if it's like print, like I drew it, I printed it, I'm shipping it. I think that will have a special kind of focus going forward because everything is just so artificial. People want human stuff, and it's fun. So, and also like I don't have to necessarily rely on bands or publishers or whoever to make myself money. I'm just like kind of drawing and selling my own stuff. So so I've the past year I've been kind of building out this silk screening thing in my office. So for 2026,
so printing yourself, you're setting up everything yourself.
Yep. Yeah, I have all the screens and squeegees and inks and the printer for the photo negatives and or positives and stuff. So it's fun. I did a few experiments. They came out really well. I sold a bunch of mini prints, and it's like going to be ready to launch in the new year, which I'm very excited about.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Cool that you're just taking it and do it yourself. I like that. I've definitely been on a kick about if you have a dedicated fan base, you don't need to reach, the amount of people that you'll reach through a big publisher if you have the people who really want your stuff supporting you. We may have talked about that a little bit over lunches, but like watching like Jim Mahfood's pretty inspiring to see what he's doing these days. He's making it happen. And it's inspiring, and it's kind of a roadmap for a lot of artists out there. Pay attention to that kind of stuff, in my opinion.
Yeah, Jim Mahfood is awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's definitely nobody else like him. That's for sure.
Yeah, for real.
But I'm curious, what kind of capability do you have in your home studio for the silk screens? Are you able to do like 16 by 20, 18 by 20, or is it like small operation? Like what kind of setup?
Yeah, no, I bought so the screens I have right now, I have 3 23 by 31s, and so a standard a concert poster, gig poster is 18 by 24. So a 23 by 31 is kind of the standard for that size, because you want some space all around to like be able to pull the ink and stuff like that, not have it pool up on the sides. But obviously, because it's larger, I can, like when I did the mini prints, I just put 4 different prints on a sheet, and so it could, that size screen could easily accommodate a bunch of mini prints. So yeah, I can do large, I can do small. I almost prefer small because I can keep the price point lower and therefore make it more accessible to people, because I probably could charge more, seeing that it's all like hand done and everything, but I think it's kind of more important that it's accessible art to people. Like I want people to be able to have cool art on their walls and everything.
Right.
And not
so
break the bank.
All the little creature things I do, I call them the ink creatures. I do all the printing myself. One of the things that, we just kind of did it, or my wife and I work on it, but one of the things I kind of approached it, the way I approached it was to do little art, to do 3x5s and 4x6s, and
And honestly, that has outsold all the big prints that we've ever done.
Yeah.
So I think that that's a good mindset, because it is cheaper, but it's also that if you're anything like me, I have all these amazing prints, but I have no more wall space. So
Yes.
the thing about these little creatures, I put them in little frames. You can put it kind of anywhere, and people have responded in that way. So
yeah, they
so
like them.
Path that you're on.
And do you find like when you go to like conventions and stuff? I mean, I'm personally more likely to buy some littler things. I don't know. It's like the wall space stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's the case with you guys too, but
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I hang nothing up, man. My walls are bare. I have the most boring place ever.
I think it's also like, you go to a show and you want to drag a giant silkscreen print around with you all day at a convention.
Yeah.
You kind of don't, or unless you have a car, you can throw it in. So I don't know. I don't know. From personal experience, though, people really respond. It could be the imagery too that I'm doing. I'm doing these little creatures, kind of like this thing right here that I got on my page. I don't think they would work as a bigger print either. So, but every time I have done it, they don't. People buy the little ones. So, how are you going to sell this stuff? How are you going to? You're going to do markets? You're going to do art markets? Like, I'm curious about it.
No, I mean, I might do a little. Well, with 2 small kids on the way, I'm not going anywhere for a while.
Yeah,
but I mean, I've had my like a web store for a while. I've used like Big Cartel, and that's fine, like for shipping my posters and stuff like that. So, I'm just gonna be throwing my own stuff up on my own store and trying to like pump it through Instagram, and probably trying to beef up my mailing list a lot more so people can get kind of the inside scoop on like, exclusive drops and stuff like that. Because I'm sure you guys have noticed it's increasingly harder and harder to like Instagram is just crazy nowadays. Like it's just I feel like everybody's buried. Nobody sees my stuff anymore.
It's tricky.
It's really hard to market. It's hard to market your work.
You really can't even sell stuff on Instagram. I'm convinced. It's like the minute you seem like you're trying to sell something, they bury your ass. They don't want you making any money. So it's good to keep. I think Instagram's a good way to keep yourself in people's kind of sphere, but I don't know how to crack the code to get your stuff sold to Instagram. I don't think you can.
No, you can't even promote it. I can't even be like, hey, I have a big poster drop coming on this date, because it gets shown to like point
like, no, that's not happening.
Of my audience. Yeah, we don't think so. So I think a mailing list is probably the way to go with that.
That's what everybody has told me. I don't do that because I can't organize myself, but everybody's told me to get a mailing list, every single person. So you're probably right on that.
Yeah,
I'm with you, John. I can't. I can do all this art and I can do all this stuff, but when it comes to that aspect, I do hit walls. But
that's type of stuff. It's the worst part of this job. This is like that admin stuff, like mailing lists and invoicing, and it sucks. It sucks. Yeah. It's awful. It's not fun. We're not built for this.
That's a good way to put it.
My brain doesn't work that way. And then I get like another part of my Mondays is going through and checking like if any of my designs are getting ripped off and like sold on different sites, and having to send like cease and desist stuff, which sucks.
But they don't work, right?
They do.
They do?
Oh yeah.
I'm a little shocked.
Yeah, especially I mean a lot. It's not a bunch of my a few of my things are copywritten, like the larger kind of more well-known designs that I have are copywritten. So I just have some kind of pre-written stuff from my lawyers, and I just send that to companies, and they're like, "Oh, okay."
I think I was at C2E2 last year, and somebody came by, and I'm like, "Hey, that's my buddy's design on your shirt or something like that." And I took a picture and sent it to you, and it was a ripoff. So it was like shocking. It was, no, I guess not shocking, but the person did come back, and I sent them to you. I was like, you should go buy stuff from him. So
that's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, if it was the one I'm thinking of, then yeah, that was a big. I can't get into too much detail, but they paid for that.
Good.
Dearly. Yeah, which was fun.
See, I got, when I did this thing called Skull Factory back in I launched it in 2000, and I got ripped off so many times by so many people. But I never had recourse. There was nothing I could do. So hearing that you were it was effective for you is kind of nice. To hear an artist won was great.
Yeah, and it was a lot of it was that I felt like I had to, because it was a large company, and they were kind of they had done it a few times to other people, and I was just I don't know. I felt like it was I was obligated, just being kind of a older, kind of pissy disposition guy, and I was just like, no way. Like, I just felt like some younger person would probably just be like, okay, yeah, that's just they ripped me off. But I was like, I gotta stand up for me, and I gotta set the precedent that they can't do this to anybody. This company can't, and other people can't, because word would travel fast around these stupid retail companies. So like I said, I felt like I was obligated to do it for maybe somebody who wouldn't necessarily stand up for themselves.
Right.
So I went like full force against them, and I would not let up. And I was like, I want them to suffer. I want them to never do this again. And the plan worked. Everything worked out in my favor.
Yeah. That's great, man. See, mine is like small potatoes. I'm just trying to get people to stop it on Instagram and things like that. And Instagram and Etsy and all that will not help you at all.
Yeah. Etsy is terrible.
Etsy does not care.
Yeah, and that's the worst, is because a lot of on Etsy I've gotten ripped off by kind of smaller artists. I'm like, what are you doing, man? We're on the same team. Like, if it's some big retailer or some crappy drop shipper, I get it. It's like, yeah, whatever, you're kind of scum. But when it's it hurts a lot more when it's another small artist. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah. Or if it's like China, you actually can't do anything if they're in China and things like that, right?
You can. And I found that out through the lawyer. I was like, what do I do? Because after we dealt with my big ordeal, we went through and saw other places that it was kind of being ripped off to a lesser extent. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, but they're in China. There's not really much I can do. And she was like, oh, no. There's still plenty of recourse. And a lot of it is that they don't know. A lot of countries don't have IP laws like we do. We're very protective of intellectual property, and we have a lot of laws that protect American kind of creators and stuff. A lot of countries don't have that, and so it's kind of like a weird ignorance type of thing. And if you're like, yeah, this is my design, it's patented, whatever, you can't do that. They're like, oh shit, we didn't know. And they take it down. It's kind of a pain in the ass to go through the channels to get to somebody, but when you do, it gets dealt with fairly quickly, surprisingly.
Yeah. It actually made me think of Who's that guy that was doing World Industries back in the day? I forget his name. The owner of World Industries, that skateboard company.
I don't know.
No, either.
Because he was one of those guys, 90s skateboard companies, and then he was like, a lot of his designs were like parodies or ripoffs of other things. And he always talked about how he would get cease and desist letters, and he would just rip them up and throw them in the trash. I don't know. That just made me think of that.
Knock on my door.
Yeah. Come and get me.
All right, y'all, we got 3 pieces of art that were sent in from us. If you want to check them out.
Yeah.
All right. We got this first one from Mr. Dist.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Jeez. Good Lord.
That's fantastic.
Great
Thanks for
stuff.
sending that. That's really good.
Really sick.
Beautiful.
Let's go, Mr. Dist. Is that what you said?
Dist. Yeah,
All right.
DIST.
A tattooer.
That's
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
Oh, awesome.
Very good tattooer.
Yeah, that's really sick. Almost like Zuli style, like we were talking about Zuli there.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I suppose Zuli was like channeling Barry Windsor Smith, you know.
Yeah, agreed. Or the Frankenstein guy. Shoot.
Frankenstein guy. Come on,
Wrightson?
Eli.
Yeah, right. Right, son.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I forgot it. Yep.
You're in timeout.
Damn it,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Frankenfella.
I knew that would get you to say
We're gonna talk later.
Yeah. Those are great though. I love those.
All right, and here is one in process from Erwin Papa.
Sweet.
Whoa.
Definitely talking about
Oh, man.
how Scott, you were saying the rule of thirds and
Yeah.
something.
Yep.
You can,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah,
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 That's
awesome.
all from the show tonight. That's good.
I think so. I don't know.
Erwin's crazy. Erwin seems like he's always drawing. I wish I
Oh.
drew that much.
He's so good, and I think he's
Yeah.
got a new Kickstarter coming up with a friend of mine, Ghost Man, who's a Cosmic Line book. So
Oh, that's
Oh,
good.
okay.
Definitely.
When does that go live then?
yeah, let us know, Erwin, when that is live. I'll share the link. Or
Yeah, absolutely.
And then-
Artists supporting art, man. That's the way,
Absolutely.
that's the way this is going to be.
And then here's mine from tonight.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
That's awesome.
You get the skulls
I love that hand.
and the beer. Oh, thanks.
I love watching you progress, Eli. We got to draw more.
Thanks,
love that.
man.
Yeah.
I have some tones laying around, so I dropped in some like tones up here and stuff.
Nice.
Oh, zip tone. That's cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And then try to just drop the little side chunks in. And Gory's sick a scarf from this photo.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Look at
But
that
I
guy.
never imagined that's what he was.
I never
You
did
know?
either. Not even close.
Yeah.
And
If
Yeah,
you're
his-
ever out here, you should come visit John. We'll go down to his house, the house on in South Yarmouth.
Yeah.
It's a place that Scott was talking about earlier that he lived at when he would go to the restaurant and stuff. But it's been turned into a museum. Everybody should check it out. That place is pretty great.
It's awesome. It's the
I love
best.
that.
Yeah.
I recently
did.
bought the Dracula book with all his illustrations and stuff too. I've been reading it.
Mm.
So cool.
Which book is that?
There's a version of the Dracula novel that uses all
Oh.
his drawings from the stage production.
West Coast Dave is in here tonight. What's up, dude? So what time have we got?
We got like 10 minutes.
Running short. Anything you want to talk about that you got coming up, Scott?
I have. Well, sign up for my news at my email list at scottbond.com, BUON.com, to get my screen prints that I'm going to be kind of going heavy on this year. I also have the Darkroom 2, Volume 2, with which is a original graphic novel from Image Comics from myself and Jerry Duggan, my very good friend Jerry Duggan, who is a writer for Marvel, and
somebody actually said somebody's asking when that comes out.
We're looking at June. We had it slipped a little bit this year. There was some we had a few setbacks and stuff, but everybody's okay. But yeah, so the date kind of slipped a little bit, but it's kind of nearing production, and we're looking at a June release. It was originally supposed to be February, but that's not going to happen. So yeah, June, and super excited about that one because I feel like I leveled up a lot, and the story is just absolutely bonkers. So
that's cool.
Fun stuff, yeah. And then another kind of top secret comic project, and hopefully more comics because I kind of love doing that the most.
Dude, your layouts are fantastic, man. Those are great, especially the background layouts. I think the background layouts are really cool. I know it's like a little thing to look at, but I don't know. I dig it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I went a little nuts, like rendering the hell out of everything and like over planning and stuff. But I'm really proud and happy how that came out.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's really good. That's all digital. Digital.
Yeah, my thumbnails for comics. That was for a different. That was for Dead Eyes. That was for a Buffy comic.
That's cool.
For Boom Studios. Yeah, that was another Buffy. Yeah, my thumbnails I actually do with pencil for comics, just because it keeps me from over rendering. I do them really small, just so I know that the page reads correctly.
Yeah.
And then I'll sometimes take those and blow them up and pencil over that, or just kind of use them as a guideline and just pencil directly into digital stuff. And yeah,
but I want to point out, John, look at your hand. Put your hand in that shot there, John. Look at that.
Jesus. You're like a Victorian era chimney sweep.
Oh, that's good. I'm gonna send you some gloves.
Yeah,
it probably wouldn't work, would it? It wouldn't even work.
No. I mean, I mean, like I said, my old studio was just ridiculous. But
yeah,
I don't know. I like to be a mess. That's why I can't work digitally. I'm too much of a mess. I actually enjoy the mess to a large extent.
Yeah.
All right. I actually finished my thing in an hour.
Let's check it out.
Last hour.
How many layers is that?
5 colors and 1 ink layer.
5 colors.
Yeah, sorry. Or no, background. Wait, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus ink.
Nice. Did you put like a texture layer, like a paper texture?
That's cool. I scanned in craft paper, turned it to black and white, removed all the white from it, and then I put it over the top and put it on a overlay or multiply setting.
That's cool. I do that at times with my ink creature stuff. I'll put I actually really like sometimes how it changes the color, tone to make a piece look really, really cool. And especially when you print. I print everything with like a pigmented ink printer. So I kind of never know what's going to happen with some of this stuff, but it always happy accidents is pretty cool stuff.
So you keep that texture over it when you're actually printing it, like on the print?
I do at times, yeah, because I want more texture than the paper will give me. So
that's very interesting.
Yeah. Okay, what do we got? We got 7 minutes. Any
we have
more
a
questions from
here?
anybody?
There's one more question, and that's when's the next one?
Oh, when is the next one?
Eric, what's the next show?
The date, I got to look the date up, but the artist is somebody I think we're pretty psyched to be talking to. We're going to have Simon Bisley with us.
Oh my goodness.
January. I believe we'll put the date out there, but it will be in the 3rd week of January. Simon's going to come on and draw with us and entertain us.
Yes, we'll have a link in our YouTube up shortly. We'll get that prepared and we'll put that up so you could follow. I want to say
that guy.
January
Check it out.
24th, but I might be wrong.
Did I send you that, Eli? That's one of my favorite pieces by him.
I kind of just grabbed a couple of my
I think you
faves.
grabbed it. Yeah. Yeah.
I never knew that one was so textured. The
Good.
granite.
I went to Heritage and grabbed these scans of like the original paintings, and that way you can see like how much is going on.
Yeah,
Man.
Well, I got to say I'm thrilled because when I was in school, I didn't know how to paint, and my friend handed me a stack of Bisley books, and that's how I initially learned how to paint. So I'm forever in debt to Bisley because that's how I kind of got my initial painting chops.
Look at that.
That's so cool.
Unbelievable. Yeah, God, that is
he's
so
a trip. He's
tasteful.
He's so
But no, like the parts where like go back to that Lobo one if you can real quick. How it was like, so the lines are almost like a dark navy, and he just uses black, it looks like, in the deepest parts, like where the shadows pool, like aside from like his eyes and mustache and stuff, but like on his pecs there, like, and in the crotch area, like the deepest, darkest parts, that's like where the black is. The rest is just kind of darker colored lines. It just pops. It's so, I don't know, very tastefully done. It's so good.
I got to watch him draw a lot when we were working on Melting Pot. We would go over there and spend weeks at his house and draw. And I got to watch him do one of the covers at one. I think I wasn't even there I think I went over another time to hang out with him. And got to watch him do a cover from start to finish. And it's a trip, man. He's a very natural artist. He's going to be good. I'm interested to see what he'll draw while he's hanging out with us, how he'll, what kind of stuff he'll use.
I'll be watching that one.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well,
God,
yeah,
beautiful.
so that's the next one, man. So that'll be exciting, I think, for all of us.
Yeah. He's come up on the show a few times, so we're all big fans. He's a good guy too, so we're going to have fun hanging out with him.
Yeah, for sure.
What else we got going on? Anything going on, John? You got you're on break, so
I'm on break. I guess what I have coming out is Cul-de-sac number 6 is coming out in January, and then that's over. And I think that's the only thing for now. So I get to chill out for a little bit, play video games. How about you, Eric?
No, just year-end stuff, tattooing on a regular basis. Get back to tattooing, commissions. Ready for the next show? I don't know.
Awesome. Oh, and OAX. Yeah. Don't remind me, Dave. I have a lot of. That's right. Okay, I got to draw commissions for OAX. That's what it is. That's what I got going on.
How about you, Eli? What do you got? What do you got coming out?
Down at OAX, and Cosmic Lion's got 12 books coming out in the first 6 months of 2026. Including the start of our brand new manga line. So I'm super psyched.
Wow.
That's fantastic, dude.
Thanks, man.
Oh, man. I wish you were managing my stuff.
Hey, man, we can talk. We can talk.
I don't think I can keep up with your pacing, man.
Well, we make the pacing for the artist, you know. It's bespoke. But that's going to be sick. I'm going to be at OAX. I'm on the council for the Kirby Awards, so I'm going to be working with people for that first Kirby Awards to nominate people who are going to win. So I'm excited. I'm going to be down there for it. So,
great,
thanks, John.
Yeah, man, we'll get food or something.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Scott. I think that piece is fantastic. I mean, you made a finished full illustration in 2 hours, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a pleasure hanging out with you guys. This was really fun. Thank you for having me.
The 2 hours fly by, right?
They really do.
Really does fly by. Yeah.
You guys want to do another 5 hours or something?
Oh, man.
Let's make a night of it.
Yeah. Get some beer. Just start drinking.
I know, we're missing the beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always forget to grab a beer. Next time. We'll have to have a beer with Simon. Although he doesn't drink, so we'll drink for him.
Yeah. We need a beer sponsorship for the show. That's what we need.
Hey, Scott, you got that?
Yeah, I'll hook you up with Revolution Brewing. So,
Yeah, we have a sketchbook live stream beer. There we go.
Yeah.
Goals
Sponsored
for
by-
2026.
yeah.
Yeah, John and I have been very actively looking for some cool artists. So 2026 is already kind of lining up to be some really fun times. We got some great people kind of already on board, but we'll have to wait and surprise you with it. So, all right. So that's it. We're in the last minute. Thanks everybody for checking in. Send your drawings anyway. Yeah, switch over. Let's see if I can figure this out. So yeah, so send any drawings that you did to us, because John and I also started a Sketchbook live stream Instagram feed. So we'll be like adding stuff to that as we go as well. So
yeah. So send us stuff, tag us, go follow Scott, go check out his website, buy his stuff. Cosmic Line, of course, support those guys too. But thank you so much for watching, everybody.
cool.
All right.
All
Take
right.
care, guys.
See you in January.